Thanks very much, and thanks, Claire. Thank you for that. And thanks for having this event hosted here in Carlow. So thanks to everyone from Carlow for hosting it for us, and to everybody in the areas of what we call CHO5, CHO6 and the National Forensic Services. This is a very co-produced effort. You know, there was a group that came together, family members, service users and service providers, who planned this event and decided, you know, what was important for us to talk about and to focus on today. So what we're going to just go through now, myself and Francis, is just to give you an overview of what today will cover. So you might have seen the programmes there, and the title, of course, is Recovery, Are We There Yet? So we felt that it was very apt now, in light of the national framework having been launched, that, you know, we want to take every opportunity to look at you know, how we're progressing with recovery and what we need to do to support it all the time. So what we're just going through, we've had Claire now has welcomed us here on behalf of CHO5. Myself and Francis are going to give just a few minutes talking about the framework and just setting the scene for recovery today. Then we'll have Dr. Maria Oppabon, Antoinette Ryan and Cathal Shanahan, Hannah Jones and Dympna Kavanagh, and they're going to talk about making a start at the framework. So that'll be very helpful, and we're basing, I suppose, the programme today as well on feedback. You know, that people are really at a stage now where we want to see more practical, you know, so have more practical ideas on how to actually progress recovery. So that'll be a very practical element to today. And also then Michael Ryan is going to tell us more about the review of the peer support workers. So as Claire said, we have a number of peer support workers all over the country, and we're lucky enough to have 5 in this particular area. So Michael is going to give us an overview of how the review went, of how the peer support workers are moving and progressing within the services. Then we have the Bragg and Steel, so the exhibitions. And it's really a key element of the day, because this is how we share ideas of recovery and recovery initiatives, and how we share with each other what we're doing in our areas, what is working, what is the difference that it's making, why are we doing it, and how can we share it with each other, so that, you know, that I can take it and, you know, see if I can do it in my area. And that's really, we don't want anyone to leave today without having some idea of what you can do in your area to progress recovery and to see things going in a way that you'd like to see them going in your area, no matter which perspective you're coming from, whether you come from service user, service provider, family member or community member of the community. That's what these events are all about. So you'll see we have some of our lineup of exhibitions over here, and we also have more exhibitions in this room in here. So we'd really like to encourage you to go and have a look at everything, talk to people, wear them down, wear them out, you know, ask them so many questions. Please do, and make it worth their while coming here today, and make it worth your own while coming here today and find out more about them. So then we have our workshops. So again, the committee, the planning committee came together to see what, you know, based on our theme, what are the key areas that we would like to be able to share and for people to be able to learn more about. So the workshops, then we have the personal narrative. And obviously that's, you know, we're talking about having lived experience within our services and the benefits that that brings to the service. So, of course, we have to talk about then, how do we do that? What is the best way of doing that? So we have Mike Watts and Amanda Quigley and Ollie Cullen then, who are going to take us through that. And these are interactive, you know, they're opportunities for you to find out more and to ask those questions, and there is no silly questions. So, you know, go along and find out more about them. The Recovery Principles and Practices Workshop, the benefits for you and for your service. So we'll have Margaret Sweeney and Vidas Currow and Martha Clark. Margaret Sweeney and Vidas Currow, who are going to lead us on that one, and just tell us about the benefits and what are they. You know, so that'll be another very interesting one. The role of the peer support worker then. So Martha Clark, Michael Norton and Fidel Keogh are going to lead us with that one. The importance of the family in recovery. So we have Breffney Coffey, we have Jen Kane, we have myself, I'm going to be helping out in that one. We have Deirdre, and we have, tell me, Claire, where are you? Belinda, thank you, Belinda. So we're going to help out with that one. Recovery for All, supporting yourself while you support others. So we have Breffney, Patrick, Ashlyn, Sarah, Mary, Maureen, and Eileen Canavan. So that's going to be a very interactive one as well. And recovery in a forensic setting. So, how do we work in a recovery-focused way in the forensic setting? So, and we have Peter and Anthony leading on that one. So, I suppose just to acknowledge the work that's gone into planning those, and they're all, we have co-production evident throughout today because that's how we do our work, So, just thanks to everyone who's put so much effort into putting those together, and really, when you're going to them, make the most out of those. After lunch, then, we will have our introduction by Donal O'Mahony. And we're going to have a very interesting energizer, and we'll leave it at that. We'll leave you wondering. Then we have onto our workshops again, and then the roundtable discussions. And for us, that's a really key part again, because it's getting your feedback and thoughts on and helping us to see how we can progress the framework further. So I suppose just like to introduce myself then, so I'm Gina, and working with the National Office, with the National Team for RE, Advancing Recovery, and I'm coming from a background of management within voluntary organisations such as Samaritans and Family Carers Ireland, and coming with a background of being a family member as well. So just very passionate about recovery, this thing we call recovery. What is it really, but whatever we deem it is for ourselves. And the important thing is having a service that supports us in achieving whatever it is that we feel it is for ourselves that we need and want. So Claire already said the benefits of the learning sets. It's about learning, sharing, networking. We're going to do it, as we said, through the plenary speakers, the workshops, the exhibitions. So please don't go out of today feeling that you didn't get, the most out of it. Make sure you get everything that you need from it. So I am going to hand over to Frances now. So thank you, Frances.
Thanks, Gina. I suppose I introduce myself. I suppose I would know a lot of faces in the room through the years, and I have a great understanding of the good recovery initiatives and work that's going on in CHO 5 and 6 in the National Forensic Services for a good while. So it's quite proud for my first learning set to be here in my new role as a partner with Gina in working with the National RE team of Aisling and Jackie, and they're here as well. So I suppose my part is I'm involved, like Claire, as the recovery coordinator for CHO2 for the last 5 years, and I had the privilege of working with the national team at many initiatives through the years, which I suppose has led me to developing my own skills and understanding of recovery, and which has supported me in, I suppose, being Catherine Brogan's successor with the National RE team. So I suppose it's timely that I'm actually here, because we're, I suppose, looking at how services can move together and develop an understanding of recovery, and also how we, as people that use the service, family members and service providers, gather our information and develop our knowledge and skills in understanding what a recovery-oriented services should look like. And that's why I'm proud to say that we now have a national strategy or a policy document, or whatever the right words are, that will guide us in all moving together, as Claire said, on the journey towards recovery. And what's beauty about this document is it lays out some kind of actions and measures within it that supports the managers within the organisation, but also gives us, the people that use the service and work in the services, an understanding of the direction the 9 CHOs and the National Forensic Services are working towards in the country. And it gives us clear understanding of what our aims and our objectives and our targets are. And it also holds us as people that works in the services to account to make sure that we're moving in the right direction as service providers in delivering a recovery approach within. And it's fantastic that we can see everybody here today. And obviously we have a shared vision and a shared understanding and a shared interest in recovery, or we wouldn't be here. So it's great pleasure that I can just say that I'm the first person, I suppose, to hold this document up in a group to say we're here to launch this document today. And we have a table over here, so there's copies of the document available for everybody to read and peruse. And if you have any questions, you come back and ask us anything about it. So also to support that, we have developed 3 guidance documents around recovery practice, 1 document on family. And we understand the importance of what family play in the recovery journey for service users, and indeed what family needs support from the services in moving them towards recovery themselves as a family unit, and to help them become better supporters for their loved one or their family member. We also have a document on recovery education, and one of the workshops, as Gina said, is on recovery education today. And we know from the literature, and I'm a nurse by background, I understand the importance of recovery education and getting to know what that recovery word means, as Gina said, and understanding, more importantly, how do I implement in my practice a recovery approach. And that's what we hope you get from the delivery of recovery education around the country for staff. And also we have a document, as Gina said, everything is co-produced that we're delivering today. And when we say co-production, it means that we're service users, family members, people with lived experience, national government bodies like AWARE, GROW, Schizophrenia and Family come together and develop an approach that targets every participant and develop their plans in a co-production way, with every voice being heard in an equal environment. And I suppose that what I'm proud most of all is that, in particular, that these documents have been led by service users and family members. And I just want to introduce you to a man over here, Michael Norton, who has been involved in a lot of work through recovery and recovery working groups. So our role here today is to officially launch the documents and to get the ball rolling at a service level of how we're going to deliver the recovery approach. So we felt very proud that we could invite Michael to say a couple of words about his own experience of working in a co-production way and give us an example and officially launch the documents and the framework for us today. So Michael is a peer support worker. Michael is a peer support worker that works here in the services with yourself, and I couldn't imagine the amount of work he put in as the main author, particularly in the co-production document. So there's no better person that should be standing up here to open and, I suppose, give us the go-ahead to start using these documents in practice. So this is Michael.
Hello everyone, as Francis says, I'm Michael Norton. I'm a peer support worker with the Rehab and Recovery team in Kilkenny, and I'm here today to, I suppose, give my own experience of working in a co-productive way. I have a background as a general nurse, and I would have started using the services in 2011, and I suppose at that stage recovery wasn't really a thing in the Irish mental health services. And I suppose I went through my own stages of going through recovery and just trying to survive, hearing voices, seeing shadows, that sort of stuff. And I started my kind of recovery work, I'd say back in about 2015, where I met a lovely lady we know as Fiona McKernan, and she kind of really introduced me into what recovery is, but how we can work in a recovery-orientated way. And one of the key things for working in a recovery-focused way is through co-production. And that's where service users, family members, work alongside service providers in the delivery, in the planning, delivery, and evaluation of recovery workshops or the services or anything like that. So I suppose I started off with Fiona and I started off with Susan as well in the Involvement Centre and in the recovery colleges, and kind of learning how to work with service providers as equals, which when you're ill, it kind of makes you think, are we really equal to the service provider? Do they kind of have all the knowledge? But what I found from working with people was that we as service users and family members and carers, we have our own knowledge, and it's called experiential knowledge. And it's as valuable as the learned knowledge as such, because I suppose we have been there, we've done that, we know what it really is like to have gone through mental health issues or support people with mental health issues. And we can really kind of give that extra focus or extra understanding. And I found through working with people that when we co-produce an activity, the experiential knowledge is it gives more weight, and the learned knowledge as well is kind of, when they're both mixed together, it really forms a real and powerful approach to working in recovery. So I'm not going to talk much longer, but what I'm here today is formally launch the co-production and practice guidance paper, the recovery education guidance paper, and the family recovery guidance paper. And I think these are the first step one of the first steps forward in implementing and making our services more recovery oriented. So with that, thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Michael. I think it really helps to make it real and to really just remind us of why we're doing it. You know, why are we doing this? And the end result really is that we want a services that is inclusive of all of our needs. And usually what we want is actually the same thing. And when we all come together in a room and talk about it, we realise that actually, yeah, we do all want the same thing. So that's one of the massive benefits of co-production and in working together. So thank you very much, Michael. And we would like to welcome now Maria Oppenbaum, Antoinette Ryan and Cathal Shanahan and Hannah Jones and Dimphna Kavanagh to talk about Recovery Framework Making a Start.